Hi, this is Makar, and today I'll be talking about the war updates in Ukraine for February 14th. Before I start, as usual, I would like to ask you to click on like on this video and also share it with your friends who might find this video interesting. And also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet. So let's start with some data. So as of today, it's day number 356, and there are 139,080 Russian personnel being liquidated in Ukraine since February 24th. That's plus 740 since the last day. Also, Ukrainian army shot down 2 Russian planes and 4 drones, as well as they destroyed 3 tanks, 8 APVs, and some other equipment, especially 9 artillery systems. So let's go to the map, and actually let's go to Telegram and see what Russia is showing, is feeding to their people, Russian propaganda. As you know, this is not the first time I'm showing this type of videos in my videos, and but I have to say it out loud. This is a Russian propaganda. They called the war a special military operation, and after they annexed Ukrainian territories, they marked it the same color as Russia. But all of these areas over here and, you know, east, south, and Crimea, it's Ukraine. But, you know, on these videos, Russia shows it as there for some reasons. Not sure why. Anyway, let's see what how Russian propaganda brainwashed Russians today.
The Ukrainian command continues to strengthen its defenses in the northern districts of Kharkiv region, ahead of possible Russian offensive. AFU are setting up strongholds and mines roads in border settlements. The Russian armed forces reinforced the previously liberated lines near Bilohorivka.
And as usually, my remark is that Russians live in 1985 Orwell reality. They called occupation a liberation. This is a Ukrainian territory that is being occupied by Russian invaders. So this is an occupation, not liberation.
In parallel, striking the enemy's artillery within counter-battery warfare. The enemy's movements are also attempted to be countered with barrel and missile artillery. Wagner PMC continues to conduct heavy assault battles near Paraskovivka. The Ukrainian command moves additional forces to hold the settlement. Heavy fighting is taking place in urban areas on the eastern outskirts of Bakhmut. At the same time, fierce fighting continues near Champagne Factory and the meat processing plant. Southwest.
What is happening?
Russian forces develop their Southwest, Russian forces develop their offensive towards Chasiv Yar. The enemy moves additional forces to the front line, trying unsuccessfully to hold the defenses in the area. Russian troops hit AFU facilities in Kostiantynivka. The targets near of Red October Culture Center and the railway station were hit. Russian units storm enemy positions in Marinka, holding on to houses to the west of Druzhby Avenue. At the same time, fighting continues for the surrounding strongholds in the wooded areas. AFU once again launched massive shelling of populated areas of DPR. During the day, AFU artillery and mortars hit Donetsk, Horlivka.
There is no such thing as DPR, acronym for Donetsk People's Republic. This is a Donetsk region of Ukraine.
Makiivka, Katarinivka, and other settlements of the Republic. There are no significant changes in the Zaporizhia direction. Artillery duels along the entire front line continue. The enemy is transferring reserves to strengthen the defenses and prepare for a possible counter-offensive.
Okay, so let's go to the map. So in Moldova, over here, Moldova authorities have prohibited entrance for fans of football club Partizan Belgrade into Moldova for game with Sheriff Tiraspol. In the USA, the United States has told its citizens to leave Russia immediately due to the war in Ukraine and the risk of arbitrary arrest or harassment by Russian law enforcement agencies. In France, the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs urged its citizens to leave Belarus. It said on the website of the MFA that amid Russia's armed offensive against Ukraine, and the closure of the Belarusian airspace, any travel into Belarus is formally not advised. In Kyiv, over here, issues with online and offline services of the largest Ukrainian post company Nova Poshta. Now let's look at what happened in Chernihiv region. So several Russian drones or balloons with reflectors were recorded over Vinnytsia, Zhytomyr, regions moving south from Belarus border towards Moldova. Also, drones were reported in Kyiv and Chernihiv region. Russian army shelled Tovsto-Dubove, Bachivsk, Basivka, Bilokopytne, Vovkivka, and Popivka of Sumy region. Now let's look at Kharkiv region, where Russian army shelled Veterinarne, Krasne, Dvorichenske, and Vovchansk. Then Russian army shelled Novomlinsk, Dvorichna, Masutivka, Sinkivka, Kupiansk, Stepova, let me zoom in a little bit, Kislivka, Tabaevka, Krokhmalna, and Berestove of Kharkiv region. All of these towns. Ukrainian military repelled Russian attacks near Hrinikivka of Kharkiv region. Then in Svatova area, a Russian army shelled Pishane, Vishneva, and Chereshnina of Kharkiv region. And also Stelmachivka, Makiivka, Plashanka, Nevska, and Dibrova of Luhansk region. Ukrainian military repelled Russian attacks near Nevska of Luhansk region. Now we go into Bilohorivka area over here, where Russian army, Kreminna area first. In Kreminna area, Russian army shelled Dibrova, and Ukrainian military repelled Russian attacks near Kuzmine, Nevska, Stupolivka of Donetsk region. As you can see, Russians are quite active in this area near Kreminna, and if we look at the deep state map, and let's wait until it reloads. So, oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so let's look at 14s. As you can see, there are a lot of different units over here. It's 35th, and then 331st. So basically, each of these peak phase represent the division or regiment of Russian army. So as you can see, there are a lot of them in this area. Okay. So let's go back to this map. And we discussed Kreminna, and then I have a video for you of a Russian equipment called OSA being burned. Boom. And now again, boom. 2 shots. And the fire is on. This is MLS. Okay, so now let's look at the map again, and let's go to Soledar area, where Bilohorivka area first. Russian army shelled Bilohorivka and Spirne, and Ukrainian military repelled Russian attacks near Bilohorivka. In Soledar area, Russian army shelled Bilohorivka, Vesela, Rozdolivka, and Vasyukivka of Donetsk region, and Ukrainian military pulled Russian tanks near Fedorivka and Krasnogora over here. Then in so Deep State shows the change in the front line near in Soledar area. So if we look at Soledar, that's 14th, and then if we look at 13th now, that's the change. So they advanced from Blagodatne towards Orikhovo-Vasyukivka. So they still trying to occupy Bakhmut or try to encircle it. The only more or less safe way to supply to send supplies to Bakhmut defenders is through this road through the hills or sort of mountains over here, as you can see, through Chromova, as this this part of the highway is controlled by Russians, and this one is like basically under fire control of Russians, even though this is still a gray zone. So now let's go back to the map and look at what happened in Bakhmut area. So Russian army shelled Bakhmut as usually. Ukrainian military pulled Russian tanks in this area as well. They also shelled Alexander Shultene and Ozaryanivka. These two. Alexander Shultene and Ozaryanivka. And as well as Delivka and Mayorsk of Donetsk region. These two. Now I have a short video of a Russian tank. And that's quite funny one. What happens to the Russian tank crew? Boom. And this is a proof that it's a Russian, as it says V over here. That's the new Russian swastika.
Не так, не так. Welcome to Ukraine!
That's how it burns. So creepy tank. I'm sorry, crispy. Tank is smoking. Imagine what happens to the Russian tank crew. That's the rat feed. Grenade. There's a small grenade inside the tank. And this is what happens to the it's smoking. Okay, so now let's move south to Avdiivka area, where Russian army shelled Avdiivka, Severne, Pervomayske, Nevelske, and Krasnogorivka, and Ukrainian military pulled Russian tanks near Vodina over here. Then in Marinka area, Russian army shelled Marinka and Pobieda, and Ukrainian military pulled Russian tanks near the same towns. Now let's quickly look at what happened in Vuhledar area. Over here, Russian army shelled Bogoyavlenka, Novoukrainka, Prechestivka, and Zolotaniva. Now, quite surprisingly quiet day for Zaporizhia region. As usually, we have a lot of pins, a lot of towns being shelled by Russians. This day, only the town of Cherivne was shelled by Russians. Then in Dnipropetrovsk region, Russian army shelled Nikopol as well. And now let's look at Kherson region, where Russian army shelled Antonivka and Kherson city several times. So that's pretty much that's it for today. If you like this video, please share it with your friends, and also check out other videos that I publish on my channel. Check out the videos over here in these corners. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.